You guys, is this the best movie in the MCU? Let's talk about it. In the wake of King T'Challa's death, Queen Ramonda, Shuri, M'Baku, Okoye, and the Dora Milaje must process this loss while trying to fight to protect their nation. As they try to move forward with this loss, they encounter a new nation that calls their own history into question. With the help of Nakia and Everett Ross, Wakanda must forge a new path for their kingdom. I want to get this part out of the way right up front while I'm happy and while I'm in a good headspace. The tribute to the late Chadwick Boseman in this movie is phenomenal and beautiful, not just from the studio, but from the story as well. You can feel this loss instantly, and throughout the entire movie, you can really feel his presence through the entire cast's performance. We'll circle back to the acting in a bit. I love so many things about this movie, but one thing that I absolutely love, and we talked about it in the Black Adam video, I love a diverse cast. In Wakanda Forever, we don't just get a diverse cast, we also get diversity in the costumes, the music, the languages, and the character backstories. The movie is rich with culture, and the attention to detail pays off stunningly. We've been to Wakanda before, and it's always exciting to visit that nation, and in this movie they really expand upon what we already know, now being able to see different parts of the culture and the nation. But we really need to talk about Talocan. It is beautiful, and the heavy inspiration the film took from Mesoamerican culture, specifically Aztec and Mayan culture, was so lavish, from the colors to the costumes to the spoken language. Speaking of both nations, we gotta talk about the music, you guys. Now, obviously, we gotta talk about Rihanna for just a split second. I'm so happy that she's back with music, and these songs are just beautiful, and they really just make me feel my feelings, and for that reason I haven't listened to them on repeat, but I do love them. Touching on the instrumental music for this movie, I really love how distinct and different the music is for each nation, Wakanda and Talocan. Not only is the music telling a story, but it's actually really moving. Now let's get back to the acting. No surprise here, everyone did amazing as usual, but the grief, loss, and raw, real emotions really elevated the performances all the way across the board. Letitia Wright as Shuri was a tremendous step up from everything she has done in the MCU so far. She was always fantastic as Shuri, but this role put so much more on her shoulders, and she delivered an incredible performance. Angela Bassett as Queen Ramonda is given even more in this film, and she handled every scene with grace, ferocity, power, and patience. Tenoch Huerta as Namor delivered on what we saw in the trailers, then gave so much more. I really loved the layers to Namor's story and the complexities that Tenoch was able to deliver. Lupita Nyong'o as Nakia was a breath of fresh air throughout because of what she brought to a story that was permeated with grief. Okoye's character was built upon so much more, and Denai Guerrera was amazing. She landed those comedic moments, and while I love me some nuanced and deep acting, her fight scenes went just as hard. Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams was an awesome addition to the cast, and I'm eager to see more of her when the Ironheart series drops. Winston Duke as M'Baku has always been a favorite of mine because I really enjoy the way the character challenges others while serving playful comedy. M'Baku was all of that and more, still bringing that comedic air through a heavy story while also being rounded and diverse enough to be serious and motivational when he needed to be. And you guys, the development of the relationship between M'Baku and Shuri is beautiful. Now, at this point in the video, I would be saying to you guys, I watched it so you don't have to, but was it worth the watch? There is no question. I watched it. Now you need to watch it. This was my most anticipated film of the year, and you guys, it was worth the wait. I've said it before in all of my previous MCU movie reviews. If you are an MCU fan, it is all mandatory viewing. Furthermore, this movie is everything. It is a beautiful tribute And it's an amazing story, not just about grief and loss, but also about healing and moving forward. Wakanda Forever is not the longest film in the MCU, but at this point, you're clicking the video, I'm assuming you're a fan, we're used to the long run times, right? And you guys, 2 hours, 41 minutes, the time was used impeccably. The story was grounded, and you guys, I said it in the Thor Love and Thunder video, the character of Jane Foster, that really hit close to home for me. And if that hits close to home, this movie hit home. I was crying at so many points, you guys, and it was definitely a struggle to get through to the end. It was bittersweet to see the grief process from each character, from the anger to the acceptance, but even more so, I loved to see how they came together and kind of helped each other through it. Touching back on it again, I especially love the idea of moving forward and having hope after loss. That really resonated with me. Aside from all the feelings that I'm feeling, this is an incredible conclusion to phase 4 of the MCU. It's a breathtaking story and it's an incredible sequel. I told you guys, this movie is everything. Clearly, I loved this movie to pieces, but I do try to see both sides. So if you're looking for a reason I would not recommend this movie, it's gotta be because grief is a huge point in this film. And honestly, if the grief and sadness and loss is a reason for you to skip this movie, that's a you problem, because on the flip side of that, the hope, the healing, and the peace that comes from it is just so much of a bigger story. Second reason why I would not recommend this movie is if you are not a fan, or if you are not at the very least keeping up with this long TV series that we call the MCU. Because again, I've said it before in my other videos, and I'm gonna keep saying it, the barrier for entry is getting higher. Speaking of which, here is everything you will need to watch before watching Black Panther Wakanda Forever. You're gonna wanna watch Civil War, Black Panther, Infinity War, Endgame, and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So now these are all of the mandatory picks. Of course, there's some more we can throw in for the sake of getting more context around the story, but really this is all that you're gonna need to watch. If you are crunched for time, do not skip Civil War and do not skip Black Panther. Obviously, I know these two movies specifically are going to set up T'Challa's character. It's going to set up Wakanda. It's going to introduce you to a bunch of different characters. And then for Infinity War and Endgame, I would say, again, if you're crunched for time, I would skip to the parts that deal with Wakanda. There is more context there, so you just at least know what happens in those movies while you're watching the Wakanda specific parts. For Falcon and the Winter Soldier, not only is it just a really good show, it's going to set up a lot more for Wakanda. It's going to set up politics that are important to Wakanda Forever, politics that are definitely going to be more important moving forward in the MCU. And that brings us to the end of the video where I watched it so you don't have to. If you are listening on the podcast, thank you very much. And if you're watching here on YouTube, leave a thumbs up on the video if you like the video, so I know you liked the video. Comment down below, the question at the top of the video was, is this the best movie in the MCU? Is it? I mean, I'm not wrong for saying it is, and you are not wrong if you disagree with me. I'm just gonna put that out there. On a lighter note, who is your favorite character in Wakanda Forever? If you've seen the movie already, let me know down below. I don't have one favorite. Definitely M'Baku is up there with my favorites because I absolutely love his character. I love the humor, I love the strength, and I love the patience and the support that he brings to the story. I love Shuri. I'd always liked her, but this movie, again, it gave her so much more. The character development, the journey of grief is beautiful, and I absolutely love it. Riri Williams, she had a lot, but there wasn't as much as I would have liked. And again, we'll see her in Ironheart, so I'm looking forward to that, seeing her character, seeing more of her, because she was hilarious, and I absolutely loved the the breath of air, kind of the sigh, the relax you can have when she's on screen, so I can just stop crying for just 5 minutes. Okoye, I absolutely love her character. Again, I love the comedic moments. I love her sense of humor. I love her, and she's just so passionate. She's such a fierce character. I absolutely love her. And again, the fight scenes, amazing. Namor, fantastic. Absolutely love him. I love his motivation. I love his character arc. He's just so interesting. The costumes, we didn't talk about it, but the costumes are fantastic for him. I mean, everybody across the board had amazing costumes, but I really like his, what would you call it? Like the king look he had with the headdress. Oh, it was amazing. I absolutely love it. Let me know your favorite character down below. While you're down there, I have a bunch of links. Usually probably 8 to 9 out of 10 times I'm sharing links down here. This time around, I'm actually talking about the links in the video specifically because this movie was so good and I loved to learn and I love to read about the movie. I have links about, what do I have? I have links about the folklore. I have links about the origin of the Talocan salute. That was really cool to read about. I have a link also about Lupita Nyong'o, where she did an interview talking about her speaking Spanish in this movie, which is actually really, really cool. I keep adding links to my list, so there's a bunch more down there. While you're down there, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next movie that I'm going to be watching for you. Of course, your girls gotta watch Black Panther, Wakanda Forever again because it was just that good. I recently watched Run, Sweetheart, Run, and also on the list is The Menu. So I'm very, very excited. But until the next video, spread positivity, be safe, take care of yourself, and take your time, but don't waste your time. Bye.